there was no precedent for Hambo's demand. Labour had sometimes been imposed, but only for specific tasks, and when there was clear evidence of some previous contract or undertaking, to repair a roof, for example, or cut a certain quantity of wood. "We listen both say, then see," Billy said at last. Paris scrambled to his feet. "I ask Hambo change him word," he said to Billy, in a voice vibrant with feeling. "I ask him think what we do here. We forget how we come here, where we come from. We come to this place make man free or make him slave." "That not question, that you opinion." Billy shook his head from side to side as if to clear it. The familiar nightmare of logical incoherence was descending on him. "Sound like question, but it not. You no can say opinion without the stick. No can get stick till finish both side palaver. But if he is found guilty," Paris said, abandoning Pigeon in the stress of his feelings, "if the vote goes against him, it will be a vote also on this demand for servitude, not only on the crime itself. It will be too late to modify the punishment, except in degree, not in its nature. And not only that, it will establish what lingo this." Kireko was on his feet now, a tall, imposing figure. "Why you talk this rubbish lingo?" He surveyed Paris steadily for some moments with an expression of frowning severity. "My friend, you talk people lingo, or you get down stogab altogether," he said. He extended his arm in a sudden fierce gesture, notably at odds with the dignified calm of his speech. "You, Beckman," he said, turning towards Billy. "You no sabi keep palaver, you get down. Give place better man." "That man not you," Inchebi shouted in immediate defense of his friend. "Shanti Beckman say everything for Shanti." Billy's face had gone red as fire, and he had taken a hard grip on de Blanc's cane. His first words, perhaps fortunately, were impeded by rage and not properly audible to Kireko. It was at this point that Tongman, with a superb sense of timing, rose to his feet. "Why this palaver about punish?" he demanded. "Iboti not punish, done nothing wrong. I speak for Iboti now. I ask for the stick." Once armed with this, he moved between the files, portly and unruffled. His forensic style was completely different from Hambo's. He did not gesture and declaim, but appealed directly to his audience with an air of taking them into his confidence. There were some strange features in this case, he said, and one of the strangest was the ease with which Hambo had come upon the fetish. In his, Tongman's, experience, and he had no doubt this corresponded to the experience of his audience, when a man went to the trouble of making up a fetish bundle and placing it on another man's roof, he generally concealed it well, intending that it should remain there for as long as possible so as to have its full effect. Indeed, it was usually only when a roof was repaired that a fetish was found in the thatch. Sounds of assent came from here and there among his listeners, and Tongman nodded and smiled. Then the smile faded, and he compressed his lips in an expression of perplexity. Was it not surprising, then, that Hambo had so easily come upon this particular fetish? By his own account, he had returned to his hut and found it on the roof. Danka, his friend and fellow tribesman, had seen him find it. Tongman, strolling between the lines, had brought him, it seemed, accidentally, opposite to Danka now. Then the smile faded, and he compressed his lips. In allude to the experience of his audience, when a man went to the trouble of making up a fetish bundle and placing it on another man's roof, he generally concealed it well, intending that it should remain there for as long as possible so as to have its full effect. Indeed, it was usually only when a roof was repaired that a fetish was found in the thatch. Sounds of assent came from here and there among his listeners, and Tongman nodded and smiled. Then the smile faded, and he compressed his lips in an expression of perplexity. Was it not surprising, then, that Hambo had so easily come upon this particular fetish? By his own account, he had returned to his hut and found it on the roof. Danka, his friend and fellow tribesman, had seen him find it. Tongman, strolling between the lines, had brought from here and there among his listeners, and Tongman nodded and smiled. Then the